So today we continue with our class Kosher Kitchen, and we start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and our topic is the way of our ancestors. Okay, the Midrash states the four sources of the merit figured prominently in the redemption of Israel. The Jews did not adopt Egyptian names, did not speak in the way of Egyptians, were not guilty of immorality, and did not speak Haloshon hara. Right? The sources were Vayikra Rabbah, Torah 2:5. Okay. Tana Develi Yahu Rabbah, chapter 23 relates. When Jews were in Egypt, they assembled and sat down together, for they were united as one. They established a covenant to do kindness with one another, to safeguard in their hearts the covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, to serve their Father in heaven alone, not to forsake the language of their father Yaakov's house, and do not learn the language of the Egyptians, so as not to follow the ways of idol worshippers. The Egyptian would ask them, "Why do you not serve our gods? For if you did, your workload will be lightened." The Jews respond, "Did our forefather forsake our Father in heaven, that we should now do the same?" When Jews circumcised their sons, Egyptians suggested, "Perhaps if you do not observe this law, your difficult labor will be lightened." The Jews responded, "Did our forefather forget the covenant into which they entered with the Father in heaven, that we should now do the same?" When Jews would marry, when the Jews marry and celebrate the 7 days of feasting that follows, Egyptian asked, "Why do you celebrate? Soon you will be forced to perform your slave labor." The Jews responded, "We shall celebrate. You can do with us as you please. Those who destined to die shall die. Those who destined to live shall live." 1 second, 4:13. 1 second. Okay, so it's a long piece with continuation. "Let us follow the ways of our ancestors, do the kindness with one another, and faithfully uphold their covenant to serve no one but HaShem. Let us pay no heed to enticements and arguments to the contrary, just as the Jews paid no heed to Egyptians' words." Okay. "Make the merit of fulfillment of the prophecy, and in the days when you departed from Egypt, will I show you wonders." Okay, it's Micha 7:15. "Speedily in our days, as in the days." Okay, departed from Egypt. Okay, so let's try to understand what it says here. 1 second. Okay, so again, our topic, the ways of our ancestors. So basically, so we were redeemed from Egypt in a merit for things. We did not adopt their names, right? Did not speak their language, and were not guilty of immorality. Did not speak Haloshon hara. Right, so that's a lot. Right, that's absolutely a lot. And if you think today, so we're not in such a good standing. So many Jews, unfortunately, do all of the four. Unfortunately, many, unfortunately, right? And I'm not talking about not religious. Okay, so Tana de Belial said that basically these Egyptians ask. Right, so they have a covenant between each other to do kindness to one another, to serve their guards. So covenant Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, meaning that people, in my mind, it looks like they put in this like this is the goal, and this is the truth. The truth is that what Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov did, it's our service to HaShem. Other things, what's going on, it's irrelevant. It's going to pass sooner or later. It's only temporary. right? And that's why when you know the big goal that you're serving HaShem, you're not just here to make the money or make somebody happy or please somebody or get the job, or, hold the job and stuff like that. So it's easy, in my mind, it's easy to survive. It does not mean that you don't have suffering. Everybody has suffering, some more, some less, some much more than others, right? But the point here is that even if you have suffering, if you know that it's only temporary, so it's not that bad, right? So and these Egyptians try to tell them, serve our God. They say, well, why do you need to serve your gods? Right? Our forefathers did not do, and we don't do, and that's one of the great rule in Judaism. So all, as I think Hazanish said. I mean, I heard it says in his name, but maybe somebody said it before him. I'm not sure. So he said all new is forbidden, right? So all new is not good. Why? Because Judaism survived until now in the present state is very good. So we don't need anything else, right? So all of these innovations and you see all of the people, all of the innovators that try reformers that they actually go down. Right, they try to adapt. They try to bring the outside culture, the Kosher culture, into Judaism. It does not work out so well. Okay, so that's what the people were answering. Oh, your gods? No, we don't know your gods. We just follow our old ways. And this response, just so we know, it's not that offensive to the nation of the world. Oh, yeah, I'm just doing what my father done. That's it. So, but you're different. Okay, I'm different, but I do what my father do. Okay. Same with circumcision, same with other things, right? So that's how we're able to withstand, not to go in like a direct confrontation with all of these people, right? But actually just say, be simple with HaShem. My fathers who were righteous, whom HaShem said clearly that He loved them, did not do so. I'm going to do the same. So I want to be loved by HaShem. That's it. Okay. So let's just read the few last words. So it says, "Let us follow in the ways of our ancestors, do the kindness with one another, and faithfully uphold their covenant to serve no one but HaShem." That's it. So it looks like bad, whatever is going on with us, but that's what HaShem wants. That means it's good for me. Let us pay no heed to enticement and the arguments, or to the contrary, just as the Jews paid no heed to Egyptians' words. Right? Made the merit of the fulfillment of the prophecy, as in a days when you departed from Egypt, will show you him the wonders, right? Speedily in our days. So meaning it's Micah 7:15. So Hashem said through the prophet. So the same way you departed from Egypt back then. Guess what? The same way you're going to depart from the last exile. Nobody's going to stop you. Okay. So we stop here. So I believe it or not, we have only a few pages left. There is a continuation. No, there are a few other like stories about Hafiz Chaim, but we will say I think we can do them. Okay, stop here. Okay, I think we have a question. So there's one question on topic. Okay, if Hebrews in Egypt are refrained from speaking Haloshon HaKodesh, if Hebrews in Egypt refrained from speaking Lashon Hara, Lashon Hara, okay. Mingling with and marrying Egyptians, and also did not get their names nor speak in their language, how did they get to 49th level of Tumah? Was it merely out of idol worship? Right. So that's a very interesting question. So if we say that we did not mingle with them, right? We did not adopt their customs. we did not change our name. So how did we get to 49th level 2? Yeah, the sovereign idols. So I mean, if we would serve with them, we would go on 50th level. But if we serve our idols, it's not that bad, but it's very bad. Okay, very good question. No problem. So we continue. We continue with the right book. Okay. And we're in chapter 14, right? And our big topic is Kashering utensils, right? Okay, limb. Okay, so let's see. Let me just quickly see what we. Oh, okay. So we're going over the different cases. So last time we discussed pot handle. It also requires pot cover. Absolutely, Kashering a large pot. So we have there's a leniency. So if we all overfill and it's going to boil over, so no problem, right? But if person cannot get a bigger pot. Okay. So now point 15. The final rinsing. It is customary to rinse the utensil in cold water immediately after Hagalah. Okay. To prevent it from reabsorb the non-kosher taste from the hot water remaining on the utensil surface. Right, the water is there, so it is wet. So, but if we quickly rinse it, no problem. So, and then this time can be used because if you have we have this large pot, for example, if you need to kosher, so you would close it, or you close the lid. Let it pick up the temperature, start boiling again, and in the meantime you rinse this hot utensil that you just kosher, or maybe it's a better idea to do it together. So two people are doing one is kosher and another is rinsing. Okay. So again, why would you rinse? To prevent the reabsorption of the non-kosher taste from the hot water remaining on the utensil surface. Although we essentially eliminate the problem by washing until the utensil is no longer ben yamo, right? We nevertheless seek to avoid the problem completely. So even though we said ben yamo, non ben yamo, right? No longer ben yamo, meaning the taste is pagum, is not good taste, right? It's not the taste of the food. But still, since it is a biblical obligation, so we try to remove any doubts, any even remote doubts. So I mean, especially I'm just saying for myself, it's such an easy thing to do. It just makes so much sense. So why don't do it? Okay. Utensil kashered with a libum does not require a final rinsing, right? So libum we said with a fire. Final rinsing. Since libum burns and completely destroys the non-kosher taste in the utensils. Okay. And Hagalah extracts. So that's a huge difference. Okay. We noted earlier that there is an opinion that rinsing should be done after libum as well. Okay. Shulchan. Okay. No problem. Okay, so I mean, again, it takes a few seconds, does not make a big deal. Okay, so continue. Point number 16. Kashering meat and dairy utensils together. Okay, usually one does not bother to kasher one individual utensil, right? Rather, one sets aside any spoon or fork that needs kashering until there is a collection of utensils that needs kashering. Okay. It is not a good practice to place these spoons and forks on a shelf or a windowsill. It is inevitable that they will be inadvertently taken and returned to the flatware drawer. That's very interesting. They should be put aside in a secure location. Often one has collection of assorted spoons, knives, and forks, some meat and some dairy, and some parv. These utensils may be kosher together in one pot since none of them is ben yamo. They were not used for the hot food in the previous 24 hours. Kasher in pot may be either meat or dairy, provided that it is not ben yamo. So quickly commentary. One may kasher them together, even if one type of binyama and one type is not. I'm not sure how that makes sense. Okay, we're going to come back to it. Okay, so again, so when usually when a person is going to kasher, since it's such a big deal, so you have to boil water, you have to get your gloves, all of this protective equipment, and so the people would do a few things in a time. Right, a few things in it. I mean, right. So they say when you prepare, collect these things, don't put like somewhere in a visible place, because other people in the house will forget or would not know, and they would return it to the drawer. So now you have 6, 7 forks, and one of them was not good. So now you don't know which one, because they all exactly the same. That's what would be the problem. So he said, put it in separate utensils, separate container, put it away somewhere, so you would remember. Okay. So and again, as a kashering pot, we can use any pot, be it dairy or be it meat, if it was not used with hot food in the past 24 hours. Okay. So that's fine, and in this pot you can kasher dairy and meat utensil. That does not matter, because it's no longer dairy and then no longer meat. So you're trying to kasher them into paref, and once it is paref, you can use for whatever you want. So okay. So let's go back to this commentary, because it does not make sense. So provided they're not binyama. So if they're not binyama, meaning they were not used in past 24 hours, you can kasher them together. One may kasher them together, even if one type is binyama and one is not. We say we're not going to kasher, not binyama. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's leave this commentary on the side. Whatever says in the text, it's clear cut. Okay, so meaning once they all not binyama, so you can kasher meat and dairy utensil in the same pot, which could be meat or dairy or even paref, no problem. Okay, so if it's paref, I guess even if you use even in 24 hours, there is no problem, right? You can use it even right now. Okay, so now there's how Hagalah is done. The procedure. Okay, so I guess we went over it, but it does not say, but it looks like to me it's a summary. Okay, how Hagalah is done. So meaning in the word, utensil is first cleaned of any foreign matter. Any rust must be removed except the rust that has made discoloration. Okay, so why? Because maybe under the rust you have something. Okay, so remove all of the rust, meaning that the whole utensil should be in contact with water. Okay, no problem. If it's just discoloration, no problem. So especially in olden days, today they make all of the cooking utensils from this from these materials. They don't have rust. Okay, but in olden days, I guess they did. Okay, and not guess. I remember that. Yeah, there were rust. Okay. Continue. All crevices are cleaned of any foreign matter. So you take whatever you need, like old toothbrush, whatever you need, a toothpick, to clean all of them, especially around the handles. Just sometimes it builds up. Okay, no problem. So you clean all of the foreign matters. One waits 24 hours before doing Hagalah. So we clean after it is clean, and you wait 24 hours. Okay. So that's proper way. Okay. Continue. After the utensil has been cleaned and 24 hours have elapsed, one fill the pot with water and brings to boil. Okay, so as we said, any pot, non-binyama or paref pot. Okay, or a separate pot. The process can be accelerated by filling the kashering pot with hot water from the top and then bring to boil. So that's a very valuable suggestion. Otherwise, if you have a big pot, So we have a big pot. so in order to bring it to boil, I don't know, like maybe you need 40 minutes, like minimum. It's huge. I don't know how many gallons. It's huge. Right? But if you put the hot water from the top, yeah, it's like maybe half of this time. Okay. Continue. The pot should preferably be type B or type slash meat slash dairy of the utensil being kosher. However, one may use any pot that was not used in 24 hours. So preferably, like if you kosher in dairy, meaning it's now became dairy. So it was a meat spoon and it became dairy. It's not became dairy. It's because basar v'chalav. Okay. So, but we got the point. But anyway, I mean, if a person wants to do the meat pot or dairy pot for meat spoons, right, he can do that. Otherwise, like any pot is good. Not binyam. Okay, so next one, water should be kept at boil throughout the Hagalah process. So meaning that keep the lid on as often as possible, because the temperature drops fast. Especially when you like dip this cold utensil. It's not cold, but room temperature, but still, compared to the water, it is cold. So it would cool off the water. Right. Hagalah may be done only in water, not in other liquids. Okay, I'm not. Maybe somebody wants to do it in vinegar or something. I don't know. All right. So yeah, only in water. Next one, utensils should be dry before placing into the water, into the boiling water, right? And I think we explained back then that we said because this cold water on the utensil will cool down the water there. Okay. Next one, all surfaces of the utensil must come into direct contact with the boiling water, right? So meaning all surfaces, meaning if you cannot feed completely, you can do by parts, but all surfaces must come into contact. Okay. If utensil is too large to submerge into water all at once, one may insert one half of utensils, remove it, and then insert another half. So very, very simple, right? So just plan how you to do it. You do it before you do it, because it's not so easy to take it out when it's full of water. For example, if you have a big pot and you do it sideways, you have to turn and hold another handle, so it's not so simple. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you have to be prepared, have a plan how to do that. Okay. If utensil is too large, okay, sorry. Okay, let's quickly do it again. If utensil is too large to submerge into the water all at once, one may insert it one half of utensil, remove it, and then insert the other half. Okay. Next one. When kashering many utensils, one should wait until the water returns to boiling before adding additional utensil to the kashering pot. So yeah, so that's very, very important. So it almost must be boiling. So sometimes like when you put the utensil in, it stops boiling, so leave it there for a few seconds, let it start boiling again, and then you can remove. Continue. One should keep the utensil in the boiling water for a moment and then remove immediately. Right, so we said that there is no specific time limit, right, or time guidance when they say some said 30 seconds is too much, right, 5 seconds, like a moment, maybe we do like 2 or 3 seconds, 5 seconds. That's it. Right, so that should be enough. Okay. So next one, immediately after kashering, the utensil is rinsed in cold water. So very important. I mean, it's not so if you don't rinse, it's still kosher, but it's proper to rinse in cold water. When kashering a few small items, for example, flatware, they may be kashered in a small pot with handle. Okay. With a handle. Okay. After kashering, one removes the pot from the fire, pours hot water, and fills the pot with cold water. So that's, I mean, instead of removing utensils one by one, which could be bother, right? And plus it's dangerous. I mean, you do it with what is it, like some kind of tweezers, whatever they call it, right? So it's not like maybe it's going to hold, maybe it's not going to hold. It's not so simple. It's not so simple, right? So in this case, I think it's also like very, very like a smart idea. Put it in a pot, small pot. Put it there, all of these utensils. Sometimes, one time at least, shake it, right? While they're boiling, shake it so the water would go everywhere. And then when it's done, turn off the heat, the flame, pour out the water, right, into the sink. Add the new water, pour new water, like cold water. That's it. You're done. So very, very safe operation. Instead of getting off the big pot like one by one, it's much more dangerous. Okay. Or as we said, if you use this basket, net basket would be also very good idea. Next one. One who kashers a set of flatware in a basket. No, I skipped one, sorry. Alternatively, one can place many utensils into the basket. So somebody sent us a picture last time, right? Very interesting basket. And place the basket into the larger boiling kashering pot. After kashering is complete, one removes the basket and rinse the basket with the utensil and cold water, meaning also safe procedure. Next one who kasher the set of flatware in a basket may put all of the flatware into the basket before putting it into the boiling water, right? And agitate the basket while flatware is submerged, right? So meaning that the water should go everywhere. Just one second, I'm checking. How long is it? The water should go everywhere. Okay, so next one, pot handles must also be kashered, either by immersing the entire pot in the water with a handle, in a boiling water, or by immersing the pot and then the handle. So I'm, for example, in a frying pan, right? Frying pan, you have this long handle, so you do the pot itself, the frying pan, then turn it upside down and do the handle. Okay. So because it's very, very possible that the food was splattering on the handle as well. Okay. So continue. One second. Handle. Even a plastic handle must be kashered. So I mean, and they can withstand the temperature. There is no problem. One must thoroughly clean all crevices between the utensil and the handle. If the handle is easily detachable, it is preferable to remove the handle and clean all the crevices and grooves. Right. So some of them on a screws, and some of them like just on a button, like just to detach. That's it, like on a spring or something. Okay, which is a good idea. The next one, a pot cover used while cooking non-kosher food must be kashered, since the steam causes the non-kosher taste to be absorbed into the cover as well, which is right, makes sense. While a person was cooking non-kosher or meat and dairy together, so the steam would go up and make this pot cover not kosher. Very simple. A large pot cover may be immersed part by part, provided each part of cover, even the center, is ultimately immersed in the boiling water. Right? So cover you do, you immerse, you turn. I mean, if you have a bigger pot, maybe twice is enough. But if not, you do 3 times, 4 times, whatever you need. Okay. So next one. A large pot may be kashered by filling it to the brim with the water and bring the water to the boil. The hot stone or brick is then put into the pot while the water is boiling, to cause the boiling water to flow over the kashering pot, to cause the boiling water to flow over and kasher the pot rim. So of course, in this case, we don't kasher the outside walls, right? Because we don't have choice. So in this case, it's a lenient opinion that's how to Kasher. So it's proper, of course, to immerse it completely. But if it's huge pot, there is nothing to you don't have anything where to dip it, right? So in this case, you do over. So you heat, put a stone, right? Make sure you have something to hold the stone because it's hot. It's going to be white hot, like a glowing white or glowing red. So be careful. Wear protective clothing. Right, some boots or something that's dangerous thing. Dangerous. Okay, very good gloves, and yeah, then you can drop the stone on the bottom. But comparing to just thinking out loud how much these pots cost, like maybe it's cheaper, like much safer. Forget about cheaper. You're going to pay money, but much safer just not to kosher. So especially if a person was eating non-koshers and now they started doing kosher, so I think it would be more proper to change. But again, not necessarily. You can kosher. Okay. It is customary to rinse the utensil in cold water immediately after Hagalah. Okay. If the utensil was not rinsed afterwards, Hagalah is nevertheless valid. As we said, it's just custom to cover all of the possibilities, so to be as kosher as possible. Okay, the next one, last one in the list. Collection of assorted non-ben yoma spoons, knives, and forks, some meat and some dairy and some parv may be kosher together if either the meat or dairy pot, there is non-ben yoma, or I would say parv pot as well. It does not say here, but I'm not sure why. Parv pot as well. So even ben yama, if you cook there. What could be the problem with ben yama? I don't think it's going to, if I remember correctly, it's not going to absorb the taste because there is no taste, right? There is no substance that it's going to absorb. I mean, I'm talking about Kashering pots, so it can be parv and even ben yama. Okay. Okay, so next point, number 17. So this was point 16. What was the topic? Kashering meat and dairy utensil together. Okay, that was the topic. So now point 17, kashering to change utensil type. Okay, so that's very interesting. I mean, the procedure would be the same, but what is allowed or is not allowed. When we started learning this book, we said, don't do it. So then they even forbid it. If it needs to be done once, there is no problem. But if people are going from one type to another, it's only a matter of time when they are going to get confused and use wrong type for the wrong thing. Okay. So 17, kashering to change utensils type. Okay. According to Ashkenazi custom, one may not kasher utensil to change them from meat to dairy use or the reverse. So very straightforward. Ashkenazi custom. So I mean, if a person made a mistake, it's a different story. But this not kasher utensil. Okay. We are concerned that one may use the pot to cook meat and dairy foods. Okay. Want to cook meat and dairy foods, continuously kashering them between the uses, right? So you use this. I mean, I think it's takes a lot of time. Right? I'm not sure what is the point. Maybe in olden days when people were very, very poor, so that would make sense. But now, does not make sense. Just get yourself with some inexpensive pot and that's it. This is risky practice, since one is liable to forget to kasher them in between use. Only a matter of time, right? Nevertheless, we permit such a kashering in the following circumstances. Okay, so now general custom not to the general practice not to kasher because our sage is afraid that we're going to forget. Well, one time the kasher bit from one to another, but exceptions. And we spoke about these exceptions in the beginning of the book, I think. So it says kashering for Pesach. One kashering utensil for Pesach, it may be changed from one use to another. since that was not a primary purpose of the kashering. Right, so primary purpose of the kashering was to get rid of chometz. That's the primary purpose. Okay. And B, but after you got rid of the chometz, so now it is paref, and you can use whatever you want. B, when kashering a non-kosher utensil. But again, I just want to remind, we said many times before, if you do color coding, so like you cannot switch types. For example, if you do all of the red ones for meat, so how you can switch to dairy, right? And all white for dairy, and part of black or whatever, some other color, stainless, I don't know, something. Like in this case, there is no way that you would change the type, right? Which is very convenient. Okay, so next one, be kosher and non-kosher utensils. Similarly, one kosher utensil that become non-kosher, it may be changed from the use from one use to another. Okay, so the next example, if it became not kosher, so you kosher it in not in order to use it with different type, but you must kosher because it became non-kosher. So this the reason of sages that does not apply. Next one, C, receiving as a gift. If one received even a kosher utensil as a gift, one may kosher it to change its use. So they gave us some special pot, whatever pot is it, and they say it's a meat pot. Right, so one may check. Okay. So if it was non-kosher utensil, so you can kosher and use it for either type. Okay, gifts, right? So somebody gave us a pot as a gift, so they say it's meat, so you can kosher to dairy. Again, it's not your initiative to change the type. Okay, right? So it was you used it for one type, you're trying to use for another. Next one, D. If utensil was not used for a full year. Utensil that was not used for a full year may be koshered to change it from use to use. Okay. So meaning it's not like you're trying to switch, you need the utensils. Okay. Continue. E. Changing utensils to part of use. One may kosher meat or dairy utensil to change it to part of use. In the course of time, one may set it aside for either dairy or the meat use. So here's in some sense, it's a loophole. So when you kosher, it becomes part of, and you use it for part of food. And later on, you can decide to use a part of pot and make it milk or dairy pot, milk or meat pot, milk or meat pot. Okay. Next one, and last exception, when koshering with a libum. So libum meaning with heat. All of the above refers to kashering with Hagalah. By kashering however, one may kosher utensil with libum to change the use from the meat to dairy, or the reverse. So, I mean, it's a big bother, so people would not do it. As noted, this is Ashkenazi custom. Sephardic Jews may indiscriminately kosher utensils to change them from one use to another. Okay, so according to Sephardic custom, they can use you can kosher. I mean, but why would somebody do it? I'm not sure. I mean, if you think how long it's going to take you, all of this, the whole procedure, just because you want to cook some dairy in that pot, does not make sense. Okay, so next one, the point number 18. And it says utensil cannot be that cannot withstand heat. One may not do Hagalah or any other methods of koshering to kosher utensils, such as certain plastic or electric utensils that cannot withstand heat or boiling water. We are concerned that one may be reluctant and possibly ruin them, and therefore fail to kosher them properly. Right, so it's very interesting. So meaning if plastic, so some plastic are very hard, right? And some plastic you can do, they use the silicone molds, right? So that you can put into the oven, and they will stand, I don't know, 450 degrees or something, a lot. It's the very heat resistant, but other plastic it's cannot withstand even 100 degrees. It's going to melt, right? So our sages say, if something cannot withstand the heat, don't do it. Okay. So next section is be Hagalah Thought Iruy. So Iruy, we said like pouring, right? As noted earlier, Hagalah must be done in a Kashering. So Kashering meaning the spot that is on the fire, right? Part of boiling water that is on the fire. However, there is a method of Kashering with Hagalah by using water poured from a Kashering. So first this utensil that is called Iruy Kashering, pouring from the boiling pot, and sometimes is referred to as halachic literature is Iruy Roshin, okay, which is okay. Since the water poured from a boiling pot is not as hot as the water in the pot itself, right? Because it cools like in the air. Iruy Kashering is not effective to kasher utensils that become treif, meaning non-kosher, through the actual contact with the boiling water, with the boiling pot. For example, a spoon inserted in boiling pot of soup or a pot in which soup was cooked. Okay. One may use Kashering only to kasher utensil that became treif through the Iruy Kashering. Okay, so that's a huge difference. Okay, so he's okay. Let's do from the beginning. We're going to explain about this Iruy. Iruy Kashering. Iruy is like it's as when we were learning this halachas in halachas of cooking in the laws of Shabbos. In the Shabbos kitchen, so we said that this Iruy is capable from Kashering, from the first vessel, is capable of cooking. Right, we were talking and we were discussing in a situation of making coffee on Shabbos, right? So you put coffee and tea into one cup, then from that from this water urn you pour into another cup, and from that cup you pour onto this your sugar and coffee, right? So but you cannot do sugar and coffee and pour water on top of it. Why? Because it's going to be, it's like you get in the water from the primary vessel, and primary vessel we said it's like it's going to cook. So because sugar and coffee it's considered to be liquids. So and for sure according to Ashkenazi tradition you cannot warm liquids on Shabbos, and it's for sure this one is going to be cooking. So in some cases, in some instances, we say there is no cooking after cooking, but in the case of liquids, there is cooking after cooking, right? So we would not allow. Okay, so that's how we learn about this Iruy Kashering. Okay, so now we said in some cases you can use this putting the hot water. Maybe you have a kettle. It's burning. It's boiled, right? And you pour this water. Okay. Or from a pot. It's meaning the water is still bubbling there, right? Since the water poured from a boiling pot is not as hot as the water in the pot itself, for sure, right? Because it's going to get colder, right? Iruy Kashering is not effective to kasher utensils that become treif through the actual contact with the boiling pot. So boiling pot meaning that for sure the taste went in, right? For example, spoon inserted in the boiling pot of soup, right? To mix the soup. Okay. So a person can do a Iruy Kashering only to kasher utensil that became treif through the Iruy Kashering, meaning that something was poured on. What would it be? maybe they had so person prepares for himself a bowl, right? Bowl, and for soup, right? And then pour soup from the pot or through the ladle, let's say even through the ladle in his and in his bowl, and he suddenly saw that I have this tablespoon is actually from David, but soup is from me. Soup is meat soup. Right? Let's say they had chicken in there, but they say it's a dairy spoon. So in this case, yeah, you can kasher this spoon just pour in from the primary vessel. Easily, okay. So point number 1, and it says when Iruy Rishon is used. Okay. A typical example of when Iruy Rishon may be used is when kashering a sink. And we're actually going to use this to learn. I think it's yes, it's next chapter where we're going to discuss the laws kashering for Pesach, right? And that's how you kasher the sink. So right, so it's very convenient. So you have hot water and you go around and the sink, and that's how you kasher. Okay. So sink come in contact with the hot water that flows from the hot water tap. Okay. Poskim consider the hot water from the tap is Kiruy Rishon, since it is directly connected to the water in a boiler. So now we're talking about water, not the like logically you would think that would start with the water that somebody spilled water there, right? For example, they were cooking something and they put, like, let's say pot cover with all the condensation into the sink. For example, for whatever reason, right? They put, so of course it's hot. It's from Kli Rishon, and now they want to kasher the sink. Okay, so the sink is usually covered on Pesach, kashered on Pesach. I mean, you can kasher it like if it was something like on the bottom from the dairy or from the meat, and it's you have different sink. So that's a different story. But you can kasher. Okay, but here is talking about the hot water is not from the pot, but hot water from the tap. Okay. Poskim consider the hot water from tap Iruy Rishon, since it's directly connected to the boiler. Right. So far so good. When this hot water pours over meat, dairy, chametz, or tray food, it imparts their taste into the sink, right? So meaning they had water, they had meat into the sink, right? Meat into the sink, and the person opened hot water all the way, right? So now the water came onto the meat, and it cooked. Of course, I mean it's so hot. It's above Yatzel Esbo for sure. Is it for sure? I mean, if it's very hot, yeah, it could be above Yatzel Esbo, right? If you let it run maybe for a minute, yes, it could be above Yatzel Esbo, and then you put on the meat, right, or dairy or chametz or a tray food. So it imparts the taste into the sink. In addition, now one often pours hot liquids from the cooking pot into the sink, right, as we said. In each of these cases, the taste is imparted through Iruy Rishon, right, so through the Iruy Rishon, through the pouring. Only, so Iruy Rishon only, so it was never on the source of the heat, and thus the sink may be kasher through Iruy Rishon. So meaning again, the logic is exactly the same as we discussed when we're on a subject what kind of kasher method to use, where Hagalah or libum. So we said the same way the taste went in, the same way it has to go out. So meaning here it went into the sink or through the Iruy Rishon. So now we can get out with from Iruy Rishon. Take it out, no problem. So next point B, a soup Right? I mean, it's not a point. It's like example maybe. A soup bowl was used for you. A soup bowl may also be used through. A soup bowl may also be kasher through Iruy Haloshon, since it is used through Iruy Haloshon when putting soup into it from a pot or a ladle. So even if you do it from the pot directly, so right, you can still kasher it. Ladle. So you can still kasher through Iruy Haloshon. You don't have to dip into another vessel, which is good, very, very helpful. However, since the soup bowl and the platters are often heated in a microwave oven, they should be kashered in a Haloshon itself. Again, but however, since the soup bowls and platters are often heated in a microwave oven, meaning that's much bigger heat than I guess in what is it from as a Iruy Haloshon. They should be kashered in a Haloshon itself. Okay. Next one, an exception to this rule may be to this rule may be cup into which one pours hot water from the urn. Okay, so you have urn and you put there hot water. Okay, this cup should be preferred be kasher in a Haloshon itself, not with Iruy Haloshon. Okay, why? Unlike the water poured from the kettle, water poured from an urn is connected to the water in the urn while the urn is still over the fire. This may give its status of actual Haloshon. So that's actually, so we're going to see that the note, but it's huge difference. So if you put the hot water from the kettle, so you remove from the fire, and that's how you put it. You have electric one, okay, so you have to lift it, and then that's how you pour. But when you do it from the urn, so this meaning the fire is still on, so it's always on. So meaning since the fire is always on, so this pouring from the urn, water urn, it's like you get in, it's like you deepen it in the utensil itself, which is very interesting. I mean, if you think about that, it's 100% logical, right? It is attached to the source of heat, and that one is removed from the source of heat. Okay, so let's see commentary. Sipri Magadim Yorgdaya 91.5. Okay. Shmiras Shabbos Kilchata, chapter 1, note 122. Nevertheless, this is far from a certain, since there is no reason to assume that the urn was actually heated while the cup was being filled. Okay, it's also makes sense, right? Maybe the heat was on, maybe not. I mean, it's not so sophisticated, right? There is a heating element, but right? Okay, maybe it was not on. So it takes sometimes. It has the temperature has to drop like I don't know, like several degrees, and only then it's going to go on. So it maybe if it was hot, right, and you were removing the water, right, maybe it was off. It may be that based upon this principle, water poured from the sink faucet should also have the status of Haloshon. Right, because it is connected. I mean, now you don't have to add the end to it, right? Which would be a huge issue. Nevertheless, since the flame in the boiler is usually not on, and since the water passes through the many yards of the piping before reaching the sink, meaning it cooled off a lot, right? There is a reason to be lenient. In addition, the pipes through which the water flows are not from hot water. In addition, the pipes through which the water flows are not from the hot water, are not from the boiler. Okay, see the chapter 9:26. The pipe through which the water flows and a hot from the water and not from the boiler. Exactly. Yeah. So pipes are being heated from the water and not from the boiler. Okay. So very interesting. Okay, so let me quickly check time. So okay, so let's do a little more. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to finish, but at least one more point. And it says, when Kashering with Iruy Rishon, one must be mindful of the following. Okay, the water flow must be uninterrupted, right? So very, very important. Iruy Rishon is effective only if the water is still connected to the cooking pot, right? As we said, very, very important. If there is an interruption of the flow, the water is thrown from the pot instead of being poured. So thrown meaning like in batches, instead of being poured meaning with connecting stream. The Iruy is not effective, right? So it must be uninterrupted flow. Okay. Point B, the flow must reach the utensils directly. Right, not through something else. Okay. Iruy Rishon is effective only if the water reaches the utensil directly, not if it is if it hits one surface and then flows into utensil. Okay, flows into another. For example, in Kashering sink, one must pour the hot water directly on every part of the sink. One cannot merely pour into one spot and allow the water to flow or the surrounding area. Okay. Continue. And next point, so meaning that you have to like sink, so you go from top to bottom and you continue, like you go from top to bottom or from bottom to top. We're going to see. We're going to see. When you go from a top to bottom, so I'm just thinking out loud logically. So the water would flow down and would cool off the walls. But if you go from cool off the walls, that you need to kasher. But if you go from bottom to top, so the cold water is going to flow, but on the places that are already kashered, so there is no problem. Okay, that's logical. Okay, so C, next point. The surface being kasher must be dry, right? Commentary, no, not commentary. So, okay, one must dry the utensil before kashering with Iruy. Otherwise, the dampness of the utensil may cool off the poured water, exactly, somewhat and render the Iruy ineffective. Okay, so commentary. One should be able to use a piece of hot metal in a place of rock or a brick. Okay, that's however, a rock or a brick retains the intense of heat for a long time, whereas metal cools off quickly and must constantly be returned to the fire to be reheated. Okay, so they say the stone is better. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. We can stop here. Okay, so 1 second, let me move my bookmark. And we'll see if we have any questions on what we said. Okay, so I think all of this on the topic. Okay, so first question: whether if one inadvertently cooked fish in a meat pot, should the pot be kosher? No need to kosher. So the thing is, if this pot was not used for more than 24 hours, there is no problem. If it was used during the 24 hours, technically, I think there is room for leniency, but if it was not clean, for sure we would not allow to use it because of the danger there is some things that are dangerous, right? Spiritually dangerous, and one of them is eating fish with meat. So that's why we don't eat fish with meat from one plate. So we use from separate plates. And so, of course, if it's cooked together, that's the issue. Okay. So 1 second. So next question. Why is it permitted to kasher utensil and change it from meat to daily, vice versa, if it was received as a gift, already kashered, pre-owned by a Jew? Why does it make this switch permissible? Very good question. Is reviving it from the receiving it from Michal Shabbos, tantamount receiving it from a goy, and must therefore be kashered regardless. Okay, so let's do this question again, and we try to understand. Why is it permitted to kasher utensils and change it from meat to daily, vice versa, receives as a gift? So as a gift, so meaning a Jew gave us this utensil as a gift, and it is not kosher. I mean, it is. He said, I use it for meat. It's the best cholent in our neighborhood. So I want to give this pot to you. That's it. I stop eating meat. My doctor say, okay, and I do. Okay, so that's they gave you a kosher meat pot, and you have no use for it. So you want to kosher to the to make it daily. Right, so the logic, the rationale why our sages forbade us to kasher from one type to another is because they were afraid that people would switch from one to another. Right, if it's easier for them to kasher, they would have one pot and switch from daily to meat, and from meat to daily. Even though you have to wash, you have to wait 24 hours. I'm not sure how it makes sense, but maybe in olden days people were very, very poor. They not maybe, for sure, were very, very poor. They could not afford pots were given as a dowry, right, to a bride, something like unbelievable, very expensive. And these pots were lasting actually for a very long time, right? Very interesting. Right, so they give us as a gift, and they say it's meat pot, and I want to use it as a daily pot. That's it. So meaning, since it was not my intention to switch, it's not my to switch between the one and another. It was not mine to begin with. I never use for one type and switch to another. So yeah, I can switch to whatever I want. So they in some sense they forcing me. They give me this pot. There is meat. Okay. Right, so even if so, it's the first part of the question. Second part of the question is received from Michal Shabbos. Yeah, it's Tamar received from a goy. Right, you must kosher. I mean, if he does not care about Shabbos, he cares about kosher. I mean, some people say I never forget this guy. Right, so he said. On a job, so I during my lunch hour I would go to the pizza, not kosher of course, this and that, but I don't keep kosher. But in my house I'm glad kosher. I'm not only kosher, I'm glad kosher. See, I remember he's sitting in our house and he was beaming with pride. It's okay, so we let it go. This old school, unbelievable. So stubborn guy. Very, very stubborn, right? So in his house, he's a glad kosher. You understand? So in order to understand and know what glad kosher is, you have to learn. So as I'm not sure how many classes we already have up to now about kosher kitchen, and we just so we understand. We maybe half, no, a little more than half through the book, maybe 2/3. So we're not done. So a person who never learned these laws, in details, like we do, right? And say that they keep kosher. So I mean, I would not eat in their house. You understand? So guaranteed. Right. Okay. So yeah. So next question. When using the loophole in changing utensil to paref, I use and switch it to opposite type. I wonder how long does one need to use it for a paref stage? I mean, it's a very good question, right? So you said one of the reasons would be allowed if you're not switching between the types, but you make it paref. So paref is you just kosher and you make it not, it was meat utensils, and you make it not meat utensils. You make it paref. So okay. So paref, I'm not sure you can use it for a few weeks, a month maybe, like to show that your intention was really to make it paref, not as a loophole. Loopholes are not allowed, right? A month, so you use it many times, and you decided to go. Maybe like after this time, you would not need the next meat utensil. Okay, or daily, whatever. Okay, so when kashering a pot handle, it says in page 360. Page 6, note 12, I guess, that it can be done through the pouring boiling water over the handle after the pot was put in the boiling water. That this pouring have to be clearly shown to the 360. No. Okay, let me quickly check. I think we said that we have to reinsert the handle as well. The pot handle, just quickly. The pot handle must also be kasher. This can be done either by immersing the entire pot with the handle into boiling water, or by immersing the pot and then the handle. So I think that's a proper procedure. Or immersing the pot and then pouring boiling water over the handle. I think while the pot is immersed into this Kashering pot, and then you pour from the clearly shown onto the handle. That's the way I understand what it says here. Okay, so that's how I understand. Just over the handle. So 133 Rama. However, if one knows that the handle came into direct contact with the non-kosher food, it cannot be kashered by pouring boiling water over the utensil over it. One of the previous methods must be used. So the way I understand, so most likely if it was a frying pan and you were frying for sure, this non-kosher food splattered like on this handle, or not kosher food, or a combination, or chometz food, whatever. The person was frying fish, right? In what is it, in breadcrumbs, right? Or in what they use, a flour, right? They put in the eggs in the flour and fry it. So of course this oil flies everywhere from frying. So for sure it went on the handle, guaranteed. So I would not do Iruy in this case. So if it's a pot, regular pot, maybe. So I would say it's easier like to use the same methods to insert one. For example, you have cooking pot, one side, then turn around. You hold another handle and insert another handle. That's it. Twice is enough. Okay, so next question. How does using kosher air bins works? Can we assume the kashering appliance stay koshered? I'm not sure what's kosher air bin bins. You have to tell me what is it. I'm not sure what is it. Assume the kashering appliance stay kosher. I'm not sure what is it. So clarify, please. And actually, you know what? Let's do while they clarify. Let's do a break, 10 minutes break, 5 minutes break, and we're going to learn other subject and return to the questions. 5 minutes. So we continue with our class Laws of Yichud, and we're in chapter 3, section C, subsection B, and subsection B3. Okay, and our topic is in this subsection Yichud with of a man with his own mother-in-law and or daughter-in-law. Okay, so we said this animosity between the woman and other people is actually very productive. And I think somebody said, was it last time asked the question or the time before? It was a very, very good question. And the question was, how come it says only about the women? So they have the bad relationships. Is it true with men? So, and today, believe it or not, today I learned the answer to this question. And it's actually from Ian Yaakov. So actually today we did Siyum. We finally completed In Yaakov book. It's a story from the Talmud, and it took us maybe 3 or 4 years. Just so you know, 3 or 4 years, once a week, 3 or 4 years, 45 minutes class. Right. So it's very, very interesting. I very, very recommend. I have a very old edition, very old. It was the most expensive book. The most expensive book many years ago. What is it? The most expensive? Like it costed $100 back. I don't know, like 5, 7, 10 years ago. $100. It's a lot of money. You can buy a lot of books, Jewish books for $100. And then the price went at $120. Right. So right. So like it's the most expensive book that I got back then, and Baruch HaShem, but now ArtScroll have a different edition, like much better edition, and no question asked with a commentary. I'm not sure how many volumes that they have, a lot. So I have in one volume like this book, this huge, this thick. Sometimes we use this book in many of our videos, right? So it says, and you see now you're going to participate in a Siyum. So it says why women not let it go so fast, right? When they get offended, the man is easy going, easy to forget, but women's not so much. And the answer is says the Talmud is it depends on the source. Well, what is it? It depends on the source, meaning that who came from where. So men came from the soil, right? HaShem made it from the soil. So soil is soft, it's pliable, it's easy to forget, right? It goes one way, another way. But woman was made from a bone. So bone is not pliable. It's very hard, and that's why women remember all of these offenses or bad things that were said or done to them for many years. That's the thing. Okay, so now we're learning about these special women. Okay. While Yichud with a man and a woman and her mother-in-law is permissible, meaning this mother-in-law is very good shomer for this woman, one cannot permit Yichud of a man with his own mother-in-law or a daughter-in-law or a woman with her own father-in-law or son-in-law. Okay. So it works one way, but does not work other way around. So, and it says, not all of the laws in-laws relationship generate negative overtones. For example, Yichud of a man with his daughter-in-law is no more permissible than Yichud with any other woman, and there is no natural enmity in the relationship. So actually, many times, men like their daughter-in-law very much, and sometimes it's a bad story happens from this liking her very much, unfortunately, right? All of the crazy people. So meaning that she's not going to be a very good shomer for him, right? In fact, love and family bond is assumed to exist as reflected in the observation of Chazal, that a man does not refrain from referring to his daughter-in-law as his daughter. Right, so there is no problem, right, for men. So he would love his daughter-in-law, he would call her daughter. Very interesting. With some in-law relationship, there is even subconscious tendency toward mutual fondness. Okay, what is it? In the case of a man's mother-in-law, man's mother-in-law, the Yichud status might be more of a concern than over other women. So meaning usually mother-in-laws, they like, many times they like the guy, okay. Chazal is very interesting. The Chazal determined that it is almost natural for a woman to have fondness and sympathetic feeling to her daughter's husband. Wow. Right, and right, so women like their son-in-laws. Very interesting. They advise that under ordinary conditions, a couple should not take up a residence in the home of the wife's parents. Right, so I mean there's exception, but if you want to travel, so that's what you do. You go to wife's parents, and that's it. Actually, I have somebody who's like a friend. I said many stories about him. So he actually lives for many years. So they very poor, Baruch HaShem, very poor. And I mean maybe not so poor, but I think they are. I think, right? So and he's been living with his in-laws, and he loved his father-in-law. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The way he showed him respect. It's like you read from the book, from the Shulchan Aruch, how to respect your father-in-law. So that's my friend. It's unbelievable. His mother-in-law. I mean, I saw her only a few times in my life, but. A very, very, very modest woman, very like amazing woman. So yeah, so he loved them very, very much. No problem, right? But again, it's a special relationship. But we said that the problem could be between the mother-in-law, right, and the son-in-law. Okay, so don't live together in one residence, and many times it's not recommended, because guess what? The parents are going to get involved in your life, and they're going to see, and if it's his parents, they're going to see what she's cooking for him, or mother is going to take over, and she's going to cook for everyone, and wife is like a kid, is like good for nothing there. You understand? So that's very not healthy relationship. So they thought, and they heard this story, and then they told people. Many times people don't listen. I mean, then they come and say, report, and I just keep quiet. I mean, should they tell her, I told you so? Like, what do you want me to tell you? I give them exactly the same advice as I said before. Like nothing happened. I mean, they suffering as it is. Right? They try to save a little money to a down payment. They want to buy co-op apartment or condominium, something, right? So they need to come up with down payment. So if you live with your in-laws for a year, so you can if you save on the rent, you can collect a lot of money, save up not a lot, but at least partially at least, right? So if you live with them 2 years, so you can maybe do a down payment, maybe. Right, if both of you are working, you spend only on food, on the basic needs. Right, so but usually this outcome is disaster. Many people, I don't know, many people, but people can get divorced. Parents get involved in their life, the truth, and yeah, go try to live this life. Okay, so continue. Yichud of a man with his mother-in-law and another woman. Yichud of a man with the mother-in-law or a daughter-in-law is forbidden, even if second woman present in that yichud. Okay, as it stated in chapter 2, we said that. Yichud of one man is forbidden with two women. So in general, so this mother-in-law is not different with another woman. It's actually more dangerous, because there is a special warm connection from her to him. Okay. Examples: a man may not be in yichud with his mother-in-law and another woman, whether the woman is her mother, daughter, or a friend. Again, a man may not be in yichud with the mother-in-law and another woman. So, and that woman, maybe she's a mother of his mother-in-law. Okay. Right, of her mother, her daughter, or a friend. So meaning, there is, as we said, there is a special bond between women, and they're going to protect each other. Okay, so continue. A woman may not be in Yichud with her father-in-law, even if her mother, daughter, or a friend is also present. So those, as we said, not good shomrim. However, Yichud with one's mother-in-law would be permitted if her husband is in the city. Baalas beer, right? If there is any, or if there is any other halakhically valuable exemption, right? So in combination of two things, meaning somebody can come in any time. Okay, so we can stop here, and to be continued next time. Let's ask HaShem. So 1 second. Okay, so let's continue with the questions. 1 second. Okay, so answer. So next question. Okay, so we have clarification. So okay, continue. If person uses a pan to fry fish, okay, and the fish is very salty. Ooh. Even if the person does Hagalah correctly, no, we cannot do Hagalah on a frying pan. On a frying pan, you do libum with the right. Okay. No. Okay. So the libum is done with the fire. So if we use just a little oil or almost no oil in order to fry, so it's considered to be frying. Right, and frying is you can get the taste out only with the heat, intense heat, meaning libum. Right, so Hagalah is not going to. Hagalah is a water, boiling water, so it's not going to work out for a frying pan. But let's read again and see. Maybe there's something else that we can answer. If a person uses a pan to fry fish, and the fish is very salty, even if the person does Hagalah correctly, the next food fried in the same pan maybe absorb the salt essence from the previous fish. According to Sephardic minhag, would still be considered transgression to eat that food. There is a cheese because the salt of the fish. No, the salt of the fish. Okay. So I mean, okay. So let's. 1 second. So, okay. So let's do from the beginning, and we're going to give separate answers just to correct this scenario a little. So if it's a frying pan, we say you need to do libum. When you do libum, it says it's going to burn all of the taste, everything in charcoal. That's it. So it's no longer considered food. There is no problem. The fish was salty, not salty. It's all gone. The taste gone completely. So, but if it was cooked, for example, people cook this. Very salty fish, right? And the salt was added for preservation, something, right? And then the salt absorbed into the walls. When you do Kashering, first of all, after 24 hours, that's it. The taste is no longer a good taste. I mean, it's no longer considered food. So this salt is nothing. So salt is easy removable, basically. Right. So there is no problem whatsoever. I mean, with the salt. So, and if they switch according to Sephardic minhag, the Kasher from one use to another, there is no problem. So after the Kasher, there is no longer any forbidden taste, and included any taste. It's absolutely parif. Okay, so you can use it from with opposite type. Okay. So we have a question, clarification. So it's how does using kosher Airbnb work? Can we assume the kosher appliances stay kosher? Okay, so it is like a house sharing service where anyone can rent for however many days, usually for a vacation, and there are the ones that are labeled kosher, assuming they have a kosher kitchen. Assuming they have a kosher kitchen, I assume that they were kosher kitchen when they rented for the first time. After that, who said that the kitchen is going to be kosher? So they say, yeah, it's kosher kitchen. Guess what? If there is no people who care about kosher, so any people can rent it. This is the way I understand. Right. So, for example, when we stay in Israel, many times we would prefer to rent the whole apartment instead of hotel. Sometimes hotel, sometimes apartment. That doesn't it depends, right? But even if this apartment was Jewish apartment, so and in one apartment it was very interesting. One place we stayed, it was. I'm not sure how did it work. It's like 2 1-bedroom apartments, or I don't know, few or they split it in rooms. I'm not sure how that worked, but every room, there was common kitchen. When we moved in that apartment, we were the only ones. But looks like on the left it was apartment, right, and on the right it was another apartment, right. So we were common kitchen with refrigerator. So people there were from Asia, right. We wake up one day, Asian people, right. They cook whatever they cook. Right? Is it kosher? Is it Jewish? Is it Israel? Yes, in Jewish and kosher in Israel, but they're going to rent whoever wants to rent. So just because they say kosher, I'm not sure what does it mean kosher. But I mean, they're going to rent anybody who is going to ask them, right? And you ask a person, right? So are you Jewish? Well, he would say, yes, I'm Jewish, for example. Yes, do you keep kosher? Yeah, I keep kosher. I mean, who cares? You have a good price. You say kosher, kosher. Like what he's going to come and check what they're going to eat, how they're going to cook. So I mean, in all of these apartments, we used only Baruch HaShem, only one thing: the kettle, tea kettle. That's it, right? To boil hot water. That's it. We did not touch anything else. Maybe we use sometimes not even. No. We would take when we used to travel, take all of the utensils, the can opener, right, to open the cans, and we had everything our own, right, the disposable cups. So we did not touch anything, except this the tea kettle. That's it. So kosher, okay, kosher shmosher. So, right, continue. Okay, did we answer the question? You're right, okay. If Jewish restaurant business that sells kosher products, okay, but they are not observant, the women are dressed immodestly and they do not pay attention to the menus. For example, serving meat and then dairy product as a dessert. Are we allowed to buy the kosher product that they sell, which are not produced from them, but not eat at their meals, even if that other meals looks kosher, because they don't have Yiras Shamayim? Okay. So we learned not too long ago. Response from Rabbi Moshe Feinstein Zatzal in Igras Moshe, and I think it was about something similar. So somebody asked, I think a rabbi asked, Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. So somebody asked him. It was the biggest Jewish center or something. Maybe it was in Mexico City, or it was. Was it in Argentina? I think one of these, but it was like if we're talking about Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, maybe 30, 40 years ago. 40 years, yeah, easily 40 years ago, right? So they had like all the sport, like a sport gym or something, or whatever they had. It's like a big complex, and they decided to open a kosher like establishment, like a cafe or something. So, and it would be kosher, but the rabbis say that the thing is, people want to buy dessert. So maybe on the kitchen they would not have milk and meat, for sure not, right? But if somebody wants to buy in the cafeteria, they have a refrigerator, and there is ice cream. Somebody would come like after exercise and swim in the pool or something. They would come and buy ice cream. What's the problem? I want to eat ice cream, but somebody who wants to eat the whole lunch, the whole dinner, so they can eat the whole dinner. What's the problem? So he asked, is it allowed, right? And these people were not very religious, but he would oversee. So I mean, we went pages and pages and pages. I don't know how many days we spent on it. It's very interesting. But he actually encouraged. So the question is, what is it like a put in stumbling block in front of the blind? So these people, for example, they ate the meal, they had the burger or something, right? And then they said, oh, you know what, I want dessert. So for example, Jewish people, they had this burger, kosher burger, and then they go, oh, I'm going to get ice cream, dairy ice cream, or I'm going to get yogurt. I don't know, whatever. I want to get something else which is dairy. So was it like a put in stumbling block, maybe not to do this kosher establishment at all? So it was very interesting. I would not remember all of the points that they went on, but it's very, very involved. And he said at the end of the day, let them eat kosher. So if you because it's not I remember a few points, right? There's no guarantee that they're going to buy not ice cream and going to eat after your after this burger. Maybe yes, maybe no, but nobody is telling them to do so. Like just because it is in one establishment does not make it not kosher. For example, some foods we buy in the supermarkets in the store, and they sell kosher and not kosher. I mean, that does not make sometimes belong to Jews, sometimes belong to non-Jews. Where's the difference? Is it pork there? They say pork. They sell pork. I'm not going to buy pork. I came there to buy vegetables, greenery, fish, whatever, Pepsi, not Pepsi. I don't drink Pepsi. Whatever, some other things like kosher stuff. What is the problem? Right. So if somebody want to make a mistake, they're going to make a mistake. Right, but if they have 17 types of porks they have, right, and then they have kosher section, or forget about kosher, just in the refrigerator they have a frozen, they have ice cream which is kosher. So what is the problem? So just because they sell pork, I cannot buy ice cream? What is the problem? You understand? So in all of these establishments, you can buy if it's food is kosher. There is no problem whatsoever. Right, so no problem. So I mean, going to the restaurant, let's say, I don't know, McDonald's or something, and buy a hot, cold water or something. I think they would sell bottled water. I think maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. Let's say they do. Or you buy Sprite. The Sprite, I think, kosher, right? You buy Sprite and they put ice. Ice is ice, right? They put Sprite. So well, what's wrong? It's kosher. So I mean, to go there, even the product is kosher, it would be mighty sign. But otherwise, there is no problem. If it's kosher, especially packaged, no problem. So going back to this question, if Jewish restaurant business sells kosher product, okay, but they're not observant. So, okay, if they're not observant, but there is a supervision, constant supervision of a rabbi, there is no problem, right? There is no problem. I mean, of course, we're afraid that the meat may be not kosher. But me personally, I would not eat there. But if there is supervision, so we rely on supervision. Okay. So maybe I guess if it's a supervision, they're not observant, so maybe they would say that only this mashgiach would have a key from a refrigerator of meat. That's would be proper. So because we don't not trust the owners. So in this case, yeah, the owner just do say cook this, cook that. So only in the presence of this guy. Okay, kosher products, but they are not observant, so it is a problem. Women dress immodestly, okay. They do not pay attention to the menus, for example, certain meat and dairy products at the dessert. I mean, if they have on the same menu, if they, if you can buy like not packaged, they cook, for example, right? They cook meat and milk in one kitchen, so it is a big problem. Do I know that places would do that? I don't. I mean, it's possible. I mean, everything is possible, but usually people don't do that. So if you have whether it's daily restaurant, so you have a pizza, you have all of this pasta, or with cheese, whatever you have, right? Or you have meat restaurant. So, but meat and dairy together. I mean, technically in houses we do that, meat and dairy in one place, but in the restaurant, I don't know. Okay, I don't think so. Okay, okay. So I mean, so that's why it's this example a little strange to me. Maybe they're not kosher completely. Are we allowed to buy kosher product? They sell. So if it's a packaged product, as we said, there is no problem whatsoever. But not in their meals. Okay, they all everything right. Other meals looks if that other meal looks kosher. Because they don't have Hiroshima. Yes. I mean, how do you know that the look it's kosher, not kosher? I mean, how do you know the meat is kosher? I mean, I would, me personally, I would not tell apart this meat, kosher meat from not kosher, like chicken. Try to tell apart kosher chicken from not kosher. I don't think so. Okay. So if they not God-fearing people and there is no like proper supervision, right? But all packaged food you can buy. Okay. So continue. So for example, we go to this wholesale club, right? A lot of kosher foods, a lot of not kosher food. There is like a huge the row of the refrigerator like with the meat, all of the kinds of meat not kosher. And one tiny refrigerator, one door, only with the kosher. That's it. I mean, who cares? It's all packaged. All of this non kosher and this is kosher. So we buy kosher. That's it. There is no problem whatsoever. Okay, so continue. Grab question about high holidays. Do Yom Kippur and 10 days of repentance also apply to non-Jews? No, it does not. So Yom Kippur is a special gift of HaShem to the Jewish people only. So he said, I'm going to forgive you, not anybody else. 10 days of repentance, I mean, yeah. So, right. So the 10 days of repentance does not apply to non-Jews. Does this help someone in process to conversion? Certain extent. I would say to get used to that it's special time of the year. Yes, that's how to use it. And since everybody's around you doing teshuva, hopefully, so maybe it's easier to do the teshuva as well, right? But otherwise it does not help non-Jews. Okay, but as a general to do teshuva, yes, it helps. Okay. Rabbi, women were made from a bone. So before we continue with the woman made of the bones, so that the next story says, and Beezrat HaShem, I mark myself to make a clip from that. So it says, why woman's voice is very sweet, and a man's voice is not so sweet. So they say, our sages say, look, you have to go to the source, how the man, from when the man was taken, right? So from the earth. So if you strike the earth, you see like a very dull, I don't know what is the word, like dull sound, not much, right? But if you strike the bone, so if it's empty bone, so it's going to have a very, very, very nice sound. So that's why women are very loud, talkative, and right, a sweet voice, and men not so much. It's very interesting. Okay, so again, if women were made from a bone, and they also represent gvura, opposite to men represent chesed. Okay, why are they more merciful, empathetic, and generally speaking more soft-hearted than men? So again, if women were made from a bone, and they also represent gvura. So bone represent gvura. Okay. So gura, how do you translate gura? It's like a strength, something like that, right? Very slow, like gura, like something unbending, something, right? Opposite men who represent chesed. Here it's I don't think so. That woman represent. Yes, she was made of the bone, but that's how it ends, right? HaShem created women with actually with the chesed, with a mercy. The more merciful women, that's why they cannot be witnesses. Why? Because she would be full of mercy and said, "Oh, why should we kill this guy? Yeah, he killed somebody else. He killed 3 people. Yeah, but he's so nice, and the whole life is around like in front of him, and he already feels bad. Like maybe not to press it. Like if I'm going to say something like they're going to kill him, I don't like. That's why, because it's one of the reasons I would say women absolutely not. They have so hard. It's like so hard, so emotional. They're going to do a lot of damage in the justice system. Man, it's simple, right? Tell me what you saw, and he tell exactly what he saw. No emotions involved, nothing, right? Very straightforward. But the women, because of their emotions, because of the soft-heartedness, it's opposite. It's not gura. It's actually they're more merciful, and that's why they've been given the task of raising children. If you give a man task of raising children, he's going to kill them, drown them in a bathtub after I don't know 3 weeks. There are exceptions, but most of the men have no patience. But women, these children are going to abuse them, going to do whatever they want to them. They're going to withstand, right? So that's the strength of the women, right? So, but right, empathetic, generally soft-hearted. Okay, continue. So next question. So frying pan, very salty. Okay, thank you, Kudraf. I meant cast iron pan. No, HaShem, sorry for the confusion. Okay, cast frying pan for sure. That's for sure. You do the libum. That's the best of the best. Yes, it's very very heavy part. Very heavy. We make actually in this cast iron. It's the best to do bread. Right, in a stove, that's how they use, and today they call it bread oven. Bread oven, or what is another place? Dutch oven, meaning this cast iron with a lid. So they have a little like a dome, right? So and you put it on top, and the best bread. Okay. Continue. We have a hypothetical question about morality. Okay. If one's close family member is known to have immoral ideology and promiscuous behaviors, okay, should one hide their spouse from the family member if they suspect that it is likely for the family member to think or act immodestly, improperly? What if the family member is a parent? In this case, can one hide their marriage? Okay, so let's try to answer. So again, a hypothetical question about morality. If one's close family member is known for immoral ideology, so it's a dangerous person, try to keep away from that person as far as possible. Promiscuous behavior. Should one hide their spouse from the family member? 100%. So, and since they're promiscuous, and now we are family. Now they have to hug. And I remember this guy from my working place. We prayed together, and he was one of these new Bolchuvas. He was not very religious. His sons were much more religious, and he was very upset, and he was upset, and he was asking me why, and he would yell. I said, hey, you wanted to answer you, or you want to still be upset. It's very interesting. So his daughter-in-law, right, on one point she said, you cannot hug me anymore. right? So they become were becoming more religious. So this guy got upset, and he was very upset. How come you're my daughter? I can hug you, I can kiss you, like you're normal. So and he was so upset. Hopefully there is nothing wrong in his head, but from the secular mentality, he came like that. How else you can show love? You hug. You like the men hug women, and women hug men. So we're family now. That's a big issue, big issue. We don't do these things, right? And if you know that there is, especially if they promiscuous, so we try to hide our spouse as far as possible, right? For example, as we learned before, especially this father-in-law. Father-in-law, daughter-in-law. Yes. So if you know that your guy know your father is like this, he likes to look at the women, and your young wife is beautiful, pretty. Yeah, you don't go to them. You don't leave them alone in the room. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right. That's you have to hide and right, especially their parents, and they. As we said, there is a special connection between mother-in-law and son-in-law, and there were many instances of, unfortunately, some immoral cases, acted of immorality between mother-in-law and son-in-law, unfortunately. Right? So whatever our sages say, it's absolutely true, then and today. Okay, so next question. Got a question about Yom Tov. Okay, for a single woman in a process of conversion, should they try to find sukkah and buy the four species? Would be improper or immodest for a girl to do so? Okay, so that's very good question. For a single woman in process of conversion, should they find the sukkah? So first of all, women are not obligated, even after conversion, they're not obligated to sit in sukkah, right? Because it's a time, so it's a mitzvah connected to time, and some in all the shuls. I don't know all of the shuls, but in many shuls there's a public sukkah. So in my shul where I go, even most of the people live in the private houses. But some people, for example, elderly, they cannot put whatever reason. I don't know. I don't want to say why, but they don't have a sukkah, so there is a public sukkah that they can come or they eat. They open because at the gate in the territory of the synagogue, they have to come in certain hours. They can let in. In other places, there's communal sukkah. They open there the whole day long, all the night long. You come wherever you want. Is right. So, but is it again for a woman? It's not. There's no obligation to sit in sukkah, and there is no obligation for species. But according to Ashkenazi custom, if a woman wants, Sephardic not, but Ashkenazi custom, if she wants to sit in sukkah, she can even say the blessing on sukkah. Right? And that's our custom in my family, and women in our family they shake lulav and esrog. There is no problem. Right. So, but they would not. They buy their own. But again, so if woman wants to buy, there is no problem. So last sukkahs. I mean, I cannot believe it's still again sukkahs. So it was a widow. When we were picking up, so a woman came up to me. I was with my wife, so she said, "Could you please pick for me esrog?" She said, "I lost my husband. I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, just recently." So right, so she said all these years, and she started crying. All these years, so we were together. I mean, in almost 60, mid-60 or something. Right, so we've been living for together for all of these years. He would pick the best esrog, the best lulav. Right, can you pick for me? I mean, right, of course, it was easy thing for me because when we were checking esrogs, I found two out of the whole row, the best. So I said, actually, this is the best. So I checked that it's absolutely kosher. My wife said out of two, she picked one. So we went with my wife's choice. But I said that this is beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely kosher. I checked. Right, it was during the day, very good sun. Right, I mean bright sun, you can see very, very clearly. And I will pick for her lulav. I checked that it's kosher. the point should not be split. But I mean, if you ask this guy, he also can check pick for you. But right, so again, so the bottom line, if woman wants, she can buy. If not, there's no such a mitzvah. Okay, but if she wants to buy, she can even say the blessing, I think. Right, according to Ashkenazi custom. But no, not necessary. Especially like in some places, they sell it for such a with such a premium. Because I mean, it does not cost a lot. But people in some remote places, they have only limited stock. So they think that this esrog have to cost like I don't know, $100, $50. In the place where we buy, so like it's for sure it's esrog, it's not lemon, and there are so many sellers. I mean, we go for a past I don't know 5 years or so. We go to one place, and it has like 5 or 6 street blocks. And there is like it's table next to table next to table next to tables, so you have a choice of from hundreds of them, and your head starts spinning, right, from all of the choices, and it's not expensive. So what is not expensive? $25, kosher, absolutely 100% kosher. Can you buy more kosher? You can buy whatever you want, right? $30, like the whole set. So, but other people pay $200. Is it better that I bought that $25? Absolutely not. Okay. So okay, so right. So continue. Next question: if one is going to Jewish community, which despite of being very kosher and holy, is located in non-Jewish neighborhood, which is full of rampant immodesty all around the place, should the person strive to get a place as close as possible to synagogue, in order not to expose himself? If he cannot find a place close to it easily, should wait until the finding one before moving. It's a very good question. So, just so we know, like in the holiest neighborhoods of the world, there is the immodest people. And one of the holiest places in the world is Kashrut. We have actually one student from Kashrut learns with us. Very interesting. And there is like a signs in English, like please respect our custom and dress, because all of the tourists, it's in Israel, right? In Jerusalem. So they because these tourists, they come like to see the Jewish life. They come in the buses, and like they all naked, and they get out. They go to the Jewish store all naked. So I mean, can you like avoid it? Absolutely not. And some people like cleaning lady come. This I mean, in Israel it's maybe not as much, like in the Kashrut at least, but tourists a lot. And in the places like in Brooklyn, let's say, there is a holiest place of the Bora Park, right? There is many Hasidim, very many like synagogues, several on one block, several synagogues. Can you imagine? Like you go to that synagogue, this synagogue, like Litvish, like Hasidish, like everybody, absolutely everybody. Right, and in the middle of these Bora parks, you have public schools that were built from a long time ago. So all of the kind of monkeys and animals and donkeys going there, and their mothers come to pick them up. So what can you do? And cleaning lady and workers, right? They walk through the neighborhood. Can you like hide yourself? And right, so it's. I would say if the choice to move to neighborhood, even maybe not as close to synagogue, but still in the walking distance. So I would say do that, and don't wait until next opportunity. But because who knows when it's going to be. So when HaShem sees that the person is serious, he's going to give second chance. But people they wait for this perfect moment, and guess what? For perfect match, and guess what? Maybe this perfect moment is never going to come. Maybe this perfect match is never going to come. So we know women, and I don't know. So I mean, they say that the one they're looking for shidduch, they don't look for shidduch. Right. So if she's in this age, in her mid-40s, she's still looking like who stopped you to get married all these times. Okay. So if all of the men are crazy, they are animals. Okay. So what can I do for you? Right. Right. So but if HaShem sees that person is serious, or just move to the neighborhood, and he's going to give one next opportunity. Because usually when you come to the neighborhood, you don't know anything. I mean, in general things, but when you start living there, you start to understand what is good, what is not good. Should I be here? Should I be on the left side on the shul, right side on the shul? Maybe there are other shuls. Maybe there are other minyanim, more convenient, right? So you just move as close as possible and see what happens. Okay. So next question. Thank you, Raf. Assuming that the big rabbi of the country is conservative, the mashgiach is kosher, but not a big rabbi. So we don't care about rabbi, this big rabbi, the head of the country, the main rabbi. I mean, he's not checking the kashrus of this restaurant. If you're still talking about the restaurant, so we rely on this kosher rabbi that maybe came from different country. Maybe he's kosher, he's orthodox. So we don't care who is on top. So many times these top people they have just title. Many times they self-proclaimed chief rabbi, so of the countries or all of the cities. Somebody sent me the video. Unfortunately, I don't know how stupid the people can be. There's one clown Chabadnik from Ukraine. So there is a main city, capital city is Kiev, right? Kiev, and this country is in the war with Russia. And he's very into politics, and he hates all of the Russians and speaks openly about Russians bad. I mean, somebody asked me what I think, so I told them, look, I have students from Russia, Jews, right, and non-Jews, and I have students Jews and non-Jews in Ukraine. So you think I'm going to take any side? Who is right? Who is wrong? I'm not going to take any side. Those Russians are great warriors, and these Ukrainians are great warriors. Let them be great warriors, and Jews have to stay away from this. You understand? It's not our war. So if I take one side, say Russians are good, right? Ukrainian they deserve forever, Chas v'Shalom, right? So meaning these people in Ukraine, so they can suffer, Jews from Ukraine, or you take that side or that side. So it's absolutely not proper. Not proper. So this clown, why I'm saying this? So unfortunately, this clown, I'm not sure how rabbi, you're Jewish, so you have your kids. You protect your kids. I'm not sure he's a citizen of that country, not citizen, I'm not sure. But he got his son killed in a war just recently. They sent him. The way I understand, I did not watch everything, but the way I understand, they send drug him in the army, right? And maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, he got killed. Right, big funeral. Unfortunately, if you're Jew, you send your kids out of the danger. But why I'm saying, so he said, I saw the shul and it says central synagogue, like the main synagogue of the town, meaning that because there is another synagogue that was 20 years before him, and it's ran by a Hasidic guy from the States, from Muncie. Right, so these guys said, no, I'm a chief rabbi. So just because somebody said he's a chief, and another said I'm a chief, I think this clown, this Shmuley Bateach, he said that he's the main American rabbi. That's what he says. Okay. So the point is, we even don't go by their self-proclaimed titles. We go by who is our mashgiach. So if mashgiach is kosher, right, everything is kosher, hopefully, right? But we must ask him what does he do with the key. So that's right. If he said no, you see, the delivery of the meat in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the night, okay, thank you very much. I'm out. Right, because they can eat, bring you donkeys. They can eat you not kosher. Okay, but I guess if you live in Argentina, so I mean, if you live in South America, so a lot of meat, just so you know, comes from South America, from Argentina, from Brazil, kosher meat, right, all over the world, even in Israel. So in Israel, there are two countries, I think, are Argentinian meat and Israeli meat. Right. That's the two that they allowed. That's how strong Kashrut there. In the States also they bring here Brazilian and from Argentina for sure. Right. So I guess if they can export, so I think if local have a contract, they can get it very cheap. Right. The way I understand. Okay, so next question. If see a guy has very sweet and pleasant voice because he has some feminine aspect in his soul to the no. I mean, it was a general statement. General, of course, there is exceptions, right? There are exceptions, but I guess men with a sweet voice, they are more feminine. I mean, singers, I guess. Right, I think, but okay. So continue. Very good. So next one, Rav, should a specific things a guy feels attached? Should a specific things a guy feels attached to from a woman that happen to be uncommon in them, be ignored if not found in the opposite gender easily, such as, for example, feeling attracted to brave women. Okay. Resilient, hard to break emotionally, and tough, generally speaking, to the. Okay, so let's see this question again. Should a specific things a guy feels attracted to from women that happen to be uncommon in them be ignored if found in opposite gender easily? I mean, if a person is attracted to this to this character traits in a woman, there is no problem. I mean, it should not be ignored. That's if so he attracted to somebody who is a leader, who is a tough cookie, who is not going to break under the pressure. I mean, most likely. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's actually opposite when a woman would be like in shock constantly, constantly crying, constantly whining, constantly this, constantly that, constantly complaining. That's a big problem. But the one who is strong-willed is actually helpful, right? A helper, a good helper, so you can perform as a team. So I mean, you're afraid, she's afraid. You don't know where you're moving, where are you going to be next, but you try to support each other. Right. So the people who are emotionally very weak and start start being depressed and with every little thing. So I mean, it's not a big support. Even if you want to do something, so you need some support. Just somebody, yes, honey, you can do it. Yeah, I believe in you. You go do it. So she said, I can do it, but you for sure can do it. So you need some kind of support. If she said, I don't know this, I don't know that. So I mean, man is also do not know. So it's not very productive family. Okay, so continue. Because I have a general question, hypothetically. Can we plant the four species ourselves? If so, can we use esrog for the first 4 years? No. I also wonder, so it's hypothetical, if there is a way to redeem fruit of the fourth year and consume them nowadays. I don't think so. We cannot redeem. The only way was to bring to Yerushalayim, right? Today, I mean, to the temple. Okay, so let's do from the green. Hypothetically, can we plant use for species ourselves? I mean, plant S-rock. I'm not sure how long S-rock tree is growing, but it's very, very tender. So, and it grows only in specific countries. So the most popular is Italy. They do it in Morocco. They do it in Yemen, in Israel, of course, and some other places. So it's countries that very. I mean, not too far from equator, basically, the way I understand. Okay. Not too far. To the north, to the south. Okay. Okay, so yes, I mean, I happen that nobody's going to do it. It's cheaper to buy it once a year, and that's it. But S-rock we cannot use for 4 years, so because we cannot derive any benefit, right? Not to eat and not derive any benefit. Okay. So, and as we said, you cannot redeem. Okay, so continue the next question. If a guy is a type that would feel absolutely incapable of killing a kid after he had done something wrong, should he try to avoid getting involved too much in their upbringing to avoid their indulgence, which is very counterproductive in the long run? So if we're talking about Soreo Mares, like this rebellious son, I'm not sure. So again, if a guy is a type that was absolutely capable to kill the kid after he's done something wrong, I mean, we don't kill anybody. We try to talk to them, right? We try to be like a little politician, right? And try to explain to them. Should he try to avoid getting involved in such their upbringing? I mean, if a child needs a father, so you have to when people don't have children, they're all tough. When you see this little baby and they tell you no, and you see that you're not so tough. Maybe you're big big boss in your job, and you tell everybody what to do, and everybody's shaking, and this little nothing is telling you what to do. And he's not shaking from you, so it's softening you up, set you down. It actually changes a person a lot. So right, and plus you know that you're responsible for this little person. So everything changes when you know that it's your kid and you're responsible, and he needs you, and without you he's going to be like a criminal. So it changes the whole world. Okay. But this, if we're talking about this Soreo Mare, I mean, there is several opinions in the Talmud. So one opinion, it's never happened. It was just hypothetical to bring the point across. So it's better somebody to die early, right, in a young age before becoming criminal, right? Okay, so next question. Question about women. We learned in the Medrash that HaShem adorned Chava with jewelries before presenting her to Adam, and the man was failing with cosmetics. And the man and the man was falling with cosmetics. Avigdor Miro, okay. However, long ago I heard from the video by the frum woman, who may be a Rebbetzin, that on the Torah times, that she proudly claimed she never put on makeup except only lipstick on her wedding day. This left me impressed. This left an impression that even the cosmetics and feminine products are permitted. Ideally, holy women should not use these products and be obsessive with the appearance. Could Rav teach us about this a bit more and clarify what would be the ideal act for the wife that we aspire to? Okay, so let's do from the beginning and a few things we need to clarify. So again, question about women. We learned in the Medrash that HaShem Adon Chava is jewelries. Okay, also presented her to Adam, and man was fallen with cosmetics. Okay, so I mean there is no problem for, and it actually says like in many places there is no problem for a woman to beautify herself. And in olden days, they would break down this wedding into stages. Well, one is kiddushin when he's like betrothed her. I don't know any other better words, but it's like semi-marriage when he gives you the ring or something of value, and she agreed to marry him. And second is nisuim, I think it's called. Right, when they have chuppah, and after the chuppah they have relations, and that's how they consummate the marriage completely. So, and sometimes between kiddush and nisuin, it was a period of time, like a few months, sometimes a year even. So, why do they need a year? So, for a woman to get herself ready. So, she would use all of these oils, all of the cosmetics, this and that, to beautify herself. There is no problem with cosmetics, but what the problem is, I'm going to tell what the problem is. However, long ago, I heard the video of the woman who may be a Rebbetzin or Torah that she properly claims she never put makeup in the week second on the wedding day. So the problem, if she had the video, that's already a problem. That's very modest. When woman speaks and teaches men and women, whoever can see her, that's very modest. Forget about this lipstick and schlimipstick. So again, there is no problem if a woman is wearing makeup. There is absolutely no problem if it's modest, like normal. There is no problem. She wants to, right? Especially if her husband likes it, there is no problem, right? But speaking on the camera, like in front of other people, Torah anytime, and I don't know how many thousand people see her, that's a huge issue. So I'm talking about modesty. So modest women do not talk on the camera, just so you know. Okay. Okay. So, I think we went. This left the impression that even cosmetic and feminine products are permitted. Okay. Ideally, holy woman should not use this product to be obsessive with her appearance. Yeah, to be obsessive with her appearance is a problem. We said it many times, right? HaShem would make, if she's a righteous woman, so HaShem would make her beloved in the eyes of your husband. Period. That's it. She can has 3 eyes or something. Doesn't matter. Right? But for her husband, she must be beautiful. Whatever he wants, he likes like lipstick, so she can put lipstick. When she goes to the office, she can go without lipstick if she wants. Right? There is no like a prohibition, right? Could Rav teach us about this a bit more? Okay, I think we clarify. Right. So first, don't speak on the camera. On the camera, it's the big, and plus that be like, right? Plus be proud that she's only put a lipstick. How about like all of the men are looking at her? How about that? Even if she looks modestly, right? She attracts your attention. How does she attract you? Is here the right Torah because she's the best storyteller, and sometimes she's cried in the middle of the story. Men do not cry so much. One does, but others do not cry. This I don't want to say his name. I don't want to know. No names. I mean, people like him very much. Very very emotional speaker. Very emotional. Right, so this woman, she can cry in the middle of the story, so everybody would be attracted, all of the men. So is it kosher? Absolutely not. Okay, so we continue with the question about this kosher rabbi. Thank you very much, Rav. Yes, the supervision from this conservative chief rabbi. But the product is certified for kosher from kosher mashgiach. So products, I don't know what the product means. Products means sealed. If it's sealed product, there is no problem whatsoever, as we said. So mashgiach is a supervisor. So I mean, two separate things. So this cafe or restaurant looks like it's not kosher, but the sealed product with a kosher supervision, they're kosher. Okay. Right. Okay. Continue. When having fish and chicken in the same meal, which one should we have first? Actually, it's our Monday morning Monday topic, right? We came up to chapter number 4 in Rambam. I think closer to the end, if I remember correctly, he's going to give us exactly procedure, like what to eat first. You start just to summarize. So he would say that you have to start with a lighter food, and then go down with a more heavier food. So even with meats are different. Meats are absolutely different. So you do, of course, you do the salad. Some people have fruit salad, right? Then vegetable salad, fruit salad, easier for digestion than vegetables. Then you have fish, right? So it's easier. Then you have then you go chicken. Then you have a meat of small animals like sheep and goats. And then only then the last year you have bakar, this big animals, the cows, bulls, right? So that's the that's the procedure. But Rambam is going to explain in all the details. Beezrat HaShem. Okay, so and then we just change the plates. So you eat for example, you eat salads. For salads with fish, salads are parf, right? So you finish, you put all the utensil, knife that you cut even salads, since the knife was used in a fish plate, so it's proper to take it out, all the eating utensils, cups, not necessarily, and right, and that's it. And then you put then you get a second plate, and second plate you use for meat. No problem. So, but between meat and fish and meat, so it's proper to eat something hard to clean your mouth, like a piece of bread or something, right? And drink something. Whatever we drink, water, wine, whatever we drink, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's do a last question. Rough, sort of strong question. Okay, I read something somewhere that Tamar was still virgin when she cohabited with Yehudah. Okay. I was wondering how so. Does it mean the and a nun wasted it even without being intimate with her? Did this add to their punishment? It also said that Yehudah did not recognize her partly because he hadn't seen her face before. May the Rabbi clarify this to the. Okay, so let's see this question again. I read somewhere that Tamar was still a virgin when she cohabited with Yehudah. I have not seen that. I mean, we can, if you tell me exactly where, we can check, but it's not clear to me how is it possible. But okay, I was wondering how so. I don't know. So it says that they had relations, but they ejaculated outside. That's what the problem is, and non. Okay, so that's but regular relations they had. Okay, the way I understand. So I mean, okay, in order for her to be a virgin, they had to do like a upside down table or overturned table, that they call it in Talmud. Okay. Right. So I mean, if they did that overturned table, so that the punishment even better. I mean, that doesn't matter. So I mean, if seed went on to the ground, that doesn't matter how they went. I mean, okay. So next question. It is true. Also, it says that Yehudah did not recognize her because he did not see her face before. Right. So it says that even in her house, in his house, she was so modest, so she would go like this Arabs do, with closing her face. That's why he never knew how she looks. Right, that is true. Okay. Okay. So next question. When soaking utensil in the dish pan, okay, on Shabbos, are we allowed to soak the utensil used for chicken and fish in the same dish pan? Yes. So that's actually we're learning about it. About soaking, it's a very good idea. So what do? You have a dish pan, right, and you fill it with water, and you can fill it with hot water. Add the dish soap, mix it. Now it's it is a mixture. No problem. You can put there all of your plates, and they could be mixed, meaning fish and meat together, because you're not going to eat from them. So the only problem when person consumes meat and fish together. But here we just wash it, no problem. Okay, very good question. Okay, so next question. A question about women preparing for marriage. Okay, what just said, would women switch some of the focus of improving her appearance when they are looking for zivug and preparing for marriage? One more time. A question about a woman preparing for marriage. What I just said, should the women switch some of their focus on improving her appearance when they are looking for zivug and preparing for marriage? I mean, I would say you don't have to do any extraordinary thing. So for example, if a woman has a nose like this, or looking to the side, or some, or I don't know, some mole on her cheek, or something, like some big problems, like external. So yes, I mean, then you have to take care of it, most likely. But there's nothing like that. So you do a regular status, and rely on HaShem is going to send. So you don't have to improve. You don't have to over improve, because if a woman is too beautiful, so she's going to attach this man that into the beauty. And guess what? After 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years, she's not going to look as beautiful because of kids, this and that, and he's going to be still attached to the beauty. And guess what? He's not going to find this beauty in the house. She's going to find this beauty somewhere else. Right? And we had a clip about it. Right? So it's very, very because she attracted this wrong guy, right now, and he's attracted to the same thing. So don't blame him. Right? No problem. All right. So let's stop here. Have a very long evening today. Baruch HaShem. Hopefully, right? Hopefully, my project is going to finish very soon, so I would have more time. And I apologize if somebody sent me questions I did not reply, because I'm very, very busy. Had no time to sleep, to do anything basically. So, but hopefully, HaShem would free me from these burdens. And as we said, my favorite. Tehillim, one of the favorites, on Thursday, when we read in Thursday morning, like a translation goes like something like that, and you free me from a kitchen buckets or whatever, from working with. So HaShem meaning what? That he's a master, and he he wants to free me, and that's what I want to be free from all these things, and only learn your Torah and serve you HaShem, nobody else, and right, and that's how we pray. We pray, and okay. So thank you very much. So again, I apologize if somebody left me a message I did not reply. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just extremely busy. Hopefully, we continue learning. Beezrat HaShem. Actually, today is Thursday, so we learn a lot. Baruch HaShem, and we should continue next week even stronger. So we have Rosh Hashanah. So before Rosh Hashanah, whatever we can, we take. All right. Thank you, and good night. Good Shabbos. Sorry.